Stephen King needs no introduction. From his imagination has sprouted some of the most scary, horrific tales that are now known throughout the globe. Whether you know him from his writing, his movies, or his Easter eggs in countless TV shows, and mostly in films of his work, which are always a treasure to behold.
You, want me to sign it for you?
Nah, I didn't like the ending.
From Carrie to The Shawshank Redemption to It, Stephen King is the master of horror, the ultimate king of scares. But where did it start? Now most people would answer that with this one. Carrie. And who could forget the prom girl with telekinesis that sets fire to the whole place? And it's true, the novel Carrie kick-started a career that is still going strong today, decades later. People have lived and died, and he hasn't finished writing yet. But there is a lesser-known work that predates Carrie. Lurking in the Ether is a poem. Now I bet you didn't think I'd say that. An idea that spawned one of King's greatest villains. This one, which I'm going to read for you, and listen closely, because you might too hear the distant clacking of cowboy boots walking on tired roads. I have stridden the fuming way of sun-hammered tracks and smashed cinders. I have ridden rails and burned sterno in the gantry silence of hobo jungles. I am a dark man. I have ridden rails and passed the smuggery of desperate houses with counterfeit chimneys, and heard from the outside the inside clink of cocktail ice, while closed doors broke the world, and over it all a savage sickle moon that bummed my eyes with bones of light. I have slept in glaring swamps where musk reek rose to mix with the sex smell of rotting cypress stumps, where witch fire clung in sunken psychospheres of baptism, and heard the suck of shadows where a gutted columned house, leached with vines, speaks to an overhung mushroom sky. I have fed dimes to cold machines in all-night filling stations, while traffic in a mad and flowing flame streaked red in 6 lanes of darkness, and breathed the cleaver hitchhike wind within the breakdown lane with thumb levelled, and saw shadowed faces made complacent with heaters behind safety glass, faces that rose like complacent moons in riven monster orbits. And in a sudden jugular flash, cold as the centre of a sun, I forced a girl in a field of wheat and left her sprawled with the virgin bread, a savage sacrifice and a sign to those who creep in fixed ways. I am a dark man. Now you'll probably agree that it isn't the work of Shakespeare, but it is the first mention that we get of the idea of the villain that would become one Randall Flagg. Now, Stephen King first wrote about the Dark Man on a placemat in the college restaurant, after he envisioned a faceless man in a denim jacket and cowboy boots, eternally walking the roads of America. A primary antagonist in many of King's books and would come to be known around the world as one of King's greatest villains. And in King's own words, Randall Flagg came to me when I wrote a poem called The Dark Man, when I was a junior or senior in college. It came to me out of nowhere, this guy in cowboy boots who moved around on the roads, mostly hitchhiking at night, always wore jeans and a denim jacket. I wrote the poem in the college restaurant on the back of a placemat, but that guy never left my mind. The thing about him that really attracted me was the idea of the villain as somebody who was always on the outside looking in and hated people who had good fellowship and good conversation and friends. Now Flagg serves as the main antagonist for The Stand, The Eyes of the Dragon, Hearts in Atlantis, and the full Dark Tower series. He's also suspected by some fans to be the overarching antagonist of The Mist, one of the 2 overarching antagonists of Carrie, but I think that's a bit of a stretch, the final antagonist of The Long Walk, and a supporting antagonist in From a Buick 8. But they are all open to interpretation. All things serve the beam, after all. Now, the poem was only a short one, but the horizons that it opened are immense. This serves as our first introduction to one of King's most prolific antagonists, and he is always such fun to read as well. He is just a maniac, a psychopath, and they're always great to read. So whether you know him as Randall Flagg or the Walking Dude or any number of his other aliases, the havoc that he causes throughout the King multiverse are way too many to list. And so, not just because of the poem, but because of the impact that this character has, this for me gets the full 5 stars. As you can see, I am a big King fan, but some of his stuff is questionable at best. But this, I found, this is a guy in college writing a poem. So if you've read this one, or if you've read any number of King books, tell me your favourite down below. And don't forget to click that little bell, subscribe, and you will see all the videos we've got coming up this month. So from me, have a spooky night, and if you feel like it, throw on a denim jacket, throw on those cowboy boots, and go for a walk. You never know what you might find.